Molo is down that way, not very far. And people keep offering me a ride. But I don't know where I'm going, so I can't take a ride. But in my mindless wandering, check this thing out, man. I love these old jeepneys. You will see so many of these. You can tell by the tail lights, these are really old, been around a long time. Quite often they're handed down like father to son, and they're well maintained throughout the generations. This metal work is really nice. Most of the newer jeepneys don't have this. I know they're phasing out the old jeepneys, but these old ones got to get some type of special dispensation because tourists love them, and these things are gorgeous and well maintained. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if you could hear that guy just yelled, "Only in the Philippines." They love being on camera. I was starting to turn off the camera, and the taxi driver started yelling and waving, so I had to talk to them for a minute. I actually talked to them for 4 or 5 minutes. I didn't film at all, and the misunderstandings were terrible. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I'm just out wandering around. Yeah. You check out Tito Tim.
Where did you from, sir?
I am from the U.S.
Huh?
U.S. America.
US, yeah, it's original Americano.
Yeah.
American. Yeah.
So, just out wandering.
What's your name, your YouTube, sir? What's your name, your, no?
Tito Tim.
What?
Tito Tim.
Little Cham?
Tito Tim.
Little Cham?
Uncle Tim.
Yeah, but I'm watching a TV for your YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. These guys. Those guys were friendly, and we talked for a little bit. But yeah, you can tell that one guy, I'm saying my name, Tito Tim. I don't know how else to say Tito Tim. And they just don't understand me. It's like, sometimes I think they don't even try to listen. They just think they can't understand English, so they don't try. I'm not sure. Or I just really don't know how to speak. I'm not sure which it is. They were nice. They offered me girls. I turned them down because I'm going to go get ramen at the mall. Although, at the time, I didn't know that. I'm just out wandering aimlessly. This is Ledesma Street, and I didn't know where I was going when I left the condo. I didn't know if I was going to go towards SM City, towards Molo, around the river. I was just going for a walk, and I had no idea where. Somehow my feet started carrying me towards Molo, and then I just kept going. The city is like 3 or 4 kilometers, a couple miles from the house, and I think that's where I'm headed. I had no plans. I'm just enjoying the afternoon. Not a lot going on because it is, 3:30 in the afternoon. It's pretty hot, so a lot of people aren't outside, except the crazy foreigners. There's a few of us. I really enjoy just getting out on the streets, seeing the people, talking to the neighbors. I like it a lot more. Or even on the jeepneys, you get to kind of see the people. With the plastic between the people, you don't get as much interaction as you used to. Taxiing everywhere, you don't see anything. So I really don't take taxis that often, unless it's just not on a jeepney route, or if it's raining. Even Melanie likes to take a taxi if it's raining. No one wants to ride on a jeepney and get wet. Sometimes it just has to be done, though. Oh, down this way is Doctor's Hospital with the intersection that's called Stoplight because it was the only stoplight in the city for many years. There are lots of stoplights now, but that intersection is still referred to as Stoplight. That intersection has a Jollibee's, Chowking, and Greenwich all next to each other because the college is nearby. Right now, the colleges are closed. The restaurants are barely hanging on. Just as a point of reference, the city just reached 88% double vaccinated, which is, I think, exceptionally well. Manila's is about the same level, 85 to 90%, somewhere in there. Nationally, I think it's only 30% because out in the surrounding the little provinces are not getting the shots as readily or not as organized. But when we were at 0% shots, because the shots wasn't here yet, we were having about 130 new cases a day. Now we're at 88% vaccinated, and we're getting single digits. The last couple of days have been like 7 new cases, 9 new cases. So it's not a political statement, but the vaccines work. They're just relaxed. We have no curfew anymore. The curfew has been like midnight to 4 a.m. It was a short curfew. It varies. It was as early as 8 p.m. It changed depending on the severity of the lockdown. We have no curfew right now. Liquor is still only sold between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., which is fine for me because I buy it and have it at the house. What that does, it took me a while to figure it out, but the people that are going to buy the liquor and sit around and do stupid things at night aren't going to plan ahead and have it. So it's when they're really drunk at 9 or 10 at night and say, let's go get another one, they can't. So it's kind of, I understand it. And since I buy it in advance and have it at the house, it really doesn't affect me. If you plan ahead, it's not a problem. There is no drinking in public, which is unfortunate because I always enjoyed just hanging out and having a drink. So you can take your own as long as you put it in a different container. I, of course, would never do that, but I have heard other people do. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This vacant lot here to my right used to have a bunch of houses. They got torn down, and I don't know what anybody's doing with it at this point. It's just empty and overgrown. The worn out old houses looked better than a vacant lot. I assume somebody wanted to build something. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Almost to Robinson's Mall, and I still haven't decided where I'm going. Spoiler alert, I go to Robinson's Mall and I get a bowl of ramen. Ooh, yeah, there's the vacant lot. Used to be houses until quite recently. See, I didn't know where I was going, but I've already given you the spoiler by saying I go to the mall. Such is life. I'm just enjoying the walk and the views. But it sure is hot. Okay, I have walked randomly 3.5 kilometers. The question now is, do I walk until I'm tired and take a taxi home, or turn around now and see if I make it? I don't know. I think I'm gonna just keep walking and see how far I get, because when I get tired, I can always take a jeepney or a taxi home. And who knows, I might find somewhere to sit down and have some air conditioning. Probably not. I did stop at Molo for money on the way in, and I got 50.7 pesos to the dollar. At the mall, they're offering 50.3 to the dollar. I keep telling people the ATM is a pretty good place to get your money. You could shop around and find a better rate maybe, but it would be a lot of work, and you would have to have dollars. I go to the machine, it gives me pesos from my American account. I don't have to transfer money here. The ATM is a wonderful thing if your bank refunds the ATM fees, which mine does. $5 ATM fee? No, thank you. Good day. See, everybody's friendly and waving, and they like to talk. As I said, I really enjoy just getting out and wandering. Oh, the fish are showing up. The market must be about to open. As the evening cools off, markets appear on the street. Right now, it's too hot. People are in the shade or the barber shop with Christmas carols. Hopefully YouTube doesn't hit that for a copyright claim. If I come back and take the music out, you'll know why. If you can hear the music, it was okay. Dancing? Hello. I missed it. Those guys were dancing, but by the time I noticed they were dancing and turned the camera, they had stopped dancing and were just waving to me. I think they were filming a TikTok. I need to do some research, find out what this place is. Big Chinese looking house. There's a doorbell, but I've never rung the bell. I don't know if it's a business, a temple, a house. It's just really cool looking. Speaking of cool looking, there's one of those air-conditioned, they call it a jeepney, but it's a mini bus. I still have never ridden one. I should get on one just to see where it goes. I could have ridden it to the mall. Again, I'm not looking for a place to live, but I keep seeing places like this. There's no signage, the building doesn't have a name, there's no numbers for management or anything. How do you know what's available? You just have to know people in the neighborhood. But that was a nice looking building. And here's another one. Not as nice looking, but still decent. It's above the stores. There's a couple floors. There's some plants growing. I don't know who lives in them or how you find out if they're available. You just have to go door to door and ask people. I've walked 4 kilometers, which I didn't really mean to do. Home is that way. But I could go that way to the river and take the Esplanade home, or I could continue on this way because Robinson is the next intersection and maybe go to the mall. But then I'd probably take a taxi home. Oh, decisions. It pains me to see these banyan trees. They grow down, the roots come down and grow into the ground, but because of the sidewalk and the streets, they are hacked apart. These poor things are hacked to pieces. Yet somehow they survive. These are some tough trees. We had a bunch of them in Hawaii, and they're great when they grow in whole groves, and the branches go out and the roots drop down. They're really amazing. It makes like a little labyrinth to go through. There's another place that looks like someone could live. And again, no signage, nothing about it. I like looking at them and seeing what's out here. And when you go walk the neighborhood, you have to talk to store owners and drivers, and they know if people are renting. The ramen was acceptable. It's not the best ramen. This is here at Tokyo. But the ice cream sundae at Dairy Queen made up for the deficiencies of the ramen. Christmas decorations are, of course, everywhere and have been. If I were to order dinner here to have it delivered to my house, would the Food Panda guys give me a ride home? They could deliver me to the house. I was going to walk home, but it's getting dark. Also starting to get busy. I may have to catch a jeepney, but they're all coming out of the city full. And I've already left the city walking. See, nobody's going towards the city. They're all leaving. He's honking. I could get, oh, he's the wrong one. Not going my way. Oh well, we'll see. It's almost dark. I'm a long way from home. So, of course, not having a plan, I end up walking all the way back home. But as you can see, it's getting towards evening, getting a little darker. It's getting cooler, and more people are out on the streets. This is actually the best time of day to walk because there's a lot more going on. There is roasted chicken in the window. There is roasted chicken in a lot of shops. That's a very popular food here. And they're usually really good. But these little markets are open. There's fruit vendors, meats, carinderias selling prepared foods. They're open during the day, but they don't do a whole lot of business as much. When it cools off like this, you'll see people come here more. There's all your food you can get, the carinderia, bakeries. I love these little markets. They're just up and down the street, kind of everywhere. Back to Molo Plaza. The street vendors are out with their food, and you can see from the crowd, Molo is pretty popular. Things are almost back to normal here. People are out. You will see that they kind of stay in their groups. There is some social distancing. In line for food, social distancing is a little lax, but, you know, and it's been a year and a half. People are tired of it. Most people wore masks before COVID, just not as often. I always had a mask with me, but I didn't wear it the whole time, and now I do. I'm surprised this is as visible as it is because it's actually quite dark. I lightened the video as much as I could to make it brighter. This camera doesn't do well in the dark, and it's surprisingly decent for as dark as it actually is. Not as clear as I would like, but this camera has some limitations at night. But the Molo Plaza gets about this crowded every night. And you can see the stars hanging in the tree. Unfortunately, tonight is the last night that they're off. They started lighting them the next night. I will come out and get some video of when it's all lit up because it's really cool looking. I didn't even realize they were hanging there because I didn't see them as I was filming. And then the next night I drove by in a taxi and they were on. So I will have to come back for that later. Doing some repairs to the gazebo. That's a good thing. It's starting to show its age. Another fun-filled day with an unexpected 8-kilometer walk. And now we get to go see a wreck. Won't that be fun? Come on, let's go see the wreck. It's a bicycle tailgating a car. When the car stops, the bicycle hits them. And the car is not happy. Well, the car's driver is not happy. I did not speak to the car to know of its happiness level. Okay, now that is some good tailgating there. A bicycle just hit a car. Really? Oh, and the car is pissed. They're pulling over to check it. Oh, and checking my walk, it says I went 8.8 kilometers. That's almost 9. I walked farther than I thought. Fun, fun, fun. Enjoy your day in paradise.